everybody, thanks for joining me today. This is Calico and I'm here with a quick update. Thought I'd pop in and give a quick update for the end of July. So it's July 28th, Friday, July 28th today. And I wasn't planning on being back till the end of summer, but my summer has ended up being a little bit more low-key than I expected. So I'm here. I have the house to myself today. And I thought, well, I'm going to stitch, but I was starting to get some things piled up since my last update and some things that I wanted to kind of file away. So I thought I would just come in here and make it quick and let you see what I've been up to and some of the plans. So we'll get right to the good stuff. I've got a couple finishes. Sadly, no FFOs, but hey, do I really ever have any FFOs? No, really. I have big plans to have FFOs, but I don't usually ever get them. So, first thing I finished, I don't remember where I was the last time I did a video, so I don't know if, I think I was pretty close to finishing this. This was my Marjolaine Baston Spring Joy, it's called, and it was the pattern that was gifted to me by an Instagram friend named Janet. And thank you again, Janet. And it was lovely to stitch. I loved this. It has a lot of French knots. There's like 90 some French knots in those strawberries, and we're not going to get too close because I realized I think I was doing my French knots wrong. I think I was only wrapping it around the needle once, and you're supposed to do it twice. And so some of my little French knots are kind of sort of receding back into the fabric because they're too small. But it makes them look more like strawberry seeds. So there's a lot of them, and I did realize after I posted this on Instagram that there's supposed to be a bunch of French knots right there in gray. And I realized that because I'm passing this on to another Instagram friend to stitch, and I was getting ready to package it up, and I was just taking one last look, and sure enough, I'm like, there's a bunch of French knots I missed. So I need to do those. Yeah. But, oh, you know, it's good to do French knots once in a while to remember how to do them, because when you don't do them in a while, I've never really had too much problems with French knots. You know, I mean, yeah, some look better than others, and, you know, they're kind of hit or miss, but I try not to get too stressed out about it. So that is my finish, and I love it. Now I need to get it framed. I think I just stitched this on the same fabric I stitch everything on, 18 count Fiddler's Ada by Charles Craft, because I just love it so much. I just love that fabric. I think everything goes on it, you know, and it's got just enough speckling to make it kind of, you know, not bland. And yes, so there isn't much more to be said about that. After I finished that, I don't think, unless I've put it away, I don't know if there was anything else I worked on, but after I worked on that, I went right into stitching more giraffes. And if you're on Instagram, you saw this little post that I did. It was just a kit. I started this on, oh, I know what it was, 4th of July. The day before the 4th of July, yeah, I think it was like the 3rd of July, I just all of a sudden had like a major case of startitis. I just wanted to start a bunch of things, and I was just going to go crazy and start a bunch of things. Excuse me, my mouth is dry. My mouth gets so dry when I do these videos because I'm probably nervous, because yes, I've been doing Flosstube videos for almost 3 years now, and I still get nervous every time I have to do one. And I have to restart them like 3 or 4 times because my intros always look really awkward. So, anyway, giraffes. So, if you are just joining me for the first time, I had a little obsession with giraffes, and normally I stitch mostly birds. That's practically all I ever stitch are birds, or, you know, I mean, I do vary here and there. But, yes, I had my little giraffe obsession going on, and so this pattern I found online, and it was a kit from, it was shipped from a store in Ukraine, and I started this on the 4th of July, along with another one that I'll show you. But this stitched up not as quick as I thought. You know how it is. You're like, oh, I'll stitch that in a couple of days because, you know, there's not really a lot of colors in there or a lot of detail. But it actually did take me a week of working solidly on it. and I put the date on it. I know I never know what to do with the date, if I should put it on or not, so I'm always back and forth with it. This one, I must have felt like put the date on it. Probably just to remember that 2017 was the year I was obsessed with giraffes. So, cute though, huh? I put on Instagram that my son called it my low-resolution giraffes because he says that they look like they're very pixelated. So, anyway, I thought that was cute coming from a gamer. Anyway, not much more to say about that other than I don't have the kit with me. But if anybody wants to know it, I'll be happy to give you the details on this cute little giraffe. Oh, that baby giraffe is just so cute. Okay, so that's it. That was it for my finishes, and I ended up only starting 2 things on the 4th of July. I started that, and then I started, I came to my senses quick because I was going to start like a whole bunch of things. I think it's just because I got a bunch of things in the mail just recently, had recently before that, and I thought, oh, I want, when you get the thing you got new, the newest thing that you just got is always the thing you like want to just delve right into. It is for me. It is for that. It's that way for me anyway. Is what I'm trying to say. So I think I showed in my last video too that I had gotten this at my local needle workshop. It was a Colorado postcard, and I didn't have any details of what it was the last time, but now I know what it is. There's this thing called Cross Stitch Collective, and I think participating local needle workshops, I think they do it all over the U.S. I'm not really sure. I just know in Colorado we have 3 local needle workshops, and they're all participating, and they have a designer kind of design a specialty, sort of like a little postcard that has something to do, I think, with Colorado or with your state. But anyway, if you go into the needle workshop, it's kind of just to promote you to visit the needle workshops, and if you go and visit those shops, I think in the month of July or August, you can pick up the pattern for free. So that's what this was. I didn't realize that, though, when I went into my local needle workshop, that I could have just grabbed the pattern for free, because when I had asked about their display, she said, oh, we have the kit. So I ended up buying the kit, but I think I would have preferred to just have the pattern for free, because it did come with, the kit, don't get me wrong, the kit came with a nice piece of linen, and it came with a bunch of Weeks Dye Works, I think. I'm trying to open it without making a lot of crinkling noise, but let me look really quick. Yes, it came with a bunch of Weeks Dye Works colors. They're all kind of messed up here, but this is just one of those patterns. I think that I would have been fine substituting with just the DMC. I can't show you what the final picture will look like because it's just a chart, but I can show you what I've stitched so far on it. It's right here. This is my needle minder that I made, and this is stitched. So it's just going to say visit Colorful Colorado, and it's going to have just a picture of our mountain range there. So yeah, really easy. They had it displayed really cute, finished really cute in the store, so I'm going to have to go look at that and see how they did it and try to finish mine the same way because it was really cute. But yeah, that's all there is to say about that. This linen, I think, is, I don't know if that's like, I can never tell. I don't know if it's 28 count or looks a little, maybe like it might be 32 count. I don't know. But that's it so far. And my sparkly needle minder that I made and sort of distressed the edges a little bit. And yeah, I was making some needle minders, and I went sort of crazy on that for a little while, and then I sort of stopped. So it was just a little stint I went on making needle minders, and I just made a few for some of my projects, like I'll show you in the next whip that I have going here. If you'll excuse me while I put this away so that I'm not left with too much of a mess here when I'm done. Okay, so that brings us to my third whip that I started because I got it in the mail, and it's this Sunlit Fox by Dimensions, which I fell in love with when I was just shopping online. And because look at those eyes. Those eyes on that thing. Gorgeous. So I had to get that kit. I have stitched on black before, and I don't remember having too hard of a time with it. So I mean, it's not my favorite thing, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to get that because it's worth it. So when I got that in the mail, Michelle here on Flosstube, she just recently changed her channel name, I think, to StitchingByLanternLight. I may be wrong. I'll put a link below. And she's also on Instagram as Shelby67. Is that right? Sorry, Michelle, I forgot. Anyway, she had a fox pattern, and there was a couple other people on Instagram that had some fox patterns, and so we just decided to do a fox owl. So if you happen to have a fox pattern that you want to stitch and you're on Instagram, you can just hashtag FoxSal and join along with any fox pattern that you happen to have. So I was going to say something else about that. I forgot what I was just going to say about that, but so far I went to town on this. This is a week and a half's worth of progress right now on my fox. I wasn't going to do the eyes or the face. I was going to save that for last. And so I started here in the middle and was kind of doing all this and around, and I don't know, I sort of gravitated toward that, and I'm like, okay, I have to do an ear and an eye just to give him some life. But now I have sort of veered this direction to get down by all of the leaves down in the bottom, which are all half stitches. So it's going really fast. These are all full cross stitches here, the fox, and then the leaves. I'll show you again down here, which are going to be kind of boring to stitch, you know, but they're an important part of the pattern, so I'll definitely do them. But it's going quick. I'm just moving right along on this. I don't know why I can't put it down. It's full of really just not very many colors. I mean, you can see just a lot of different shades of orange, and yeah, I just can't put it down. I'm just gonna keep working on it until I can't put it down anymore. I mean, until I can't put it down. No, I'm not gonna go there. That's gonna be, I'm gonna digress too long on that. Long story short, I started watching The Walking Dead, and that's what I'm watching while I'm stitching this. After I watched, okay, never mind. I'm trying to keep this short, but let's just put it that way. I've started watching The Walking Dead. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm about seven episodes in, and it hasn't really grabbed me yet, but I'm going to at least watch one season. And I don't know what it is. It reminds me of Lost in a way. The whole dynamic of the people, you know. I just don't know. There's something about every character that irritates me, and sometimes that's kind of a deal breaker for me. I can watch the most boring show ever, but if I like the characters, I will watch it and I'll love it. And I can watch a really exciting show, but if there's characters that bug me, or there's personality traits about them, I don't know if it's the actor or just the way they're acting, if there's something that grates on my nerves about the character, then I usually can't stick with the show. And that, it's sad to say, I know I'm ducking because there's so many people out there that love The Walking Dead, but I just can't get on board with the characters. They all kind of have something about them that annoy me. So I'm going to give it a chance, though, because I watched Jimmy Flosstube. Hi, Jimmy Flosstube. I watched your video when you interviewed Lori from Mischievous Stitches. Hi, Lori. And since I wasn't watching Walking Dead, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to listen to them talk about it. So yes, I realize I got a lot of spoilers, but that's okay. I know characters die, and I know good characters die in that show, and that doesn't really matter. But I don't know, just after listening to them talk about it, I'm like, wow, you know, I need to watch that show, because it sounds like there's some really good characters in there, and they really kind of grab you. So I'm not going to give up on it yet, because I think I remember I said that about Gilmore Girls. I had a really hard time getting through the first season of Gilmore Girls because Rory just kind of bugged me for some reason, and then I ended up loving that show. So, and I've even kind of watched some of the episodes again. So I'm going to keep giving it a chance. So I don't like things to pass me by. If everybody's watching The Walking Dead, I need to watch The Walking Dead because I need to know what everybody's talking about. Okay, so I did digress anyway. Keeping it short. So moving on, that's all the whips I have so far. But I am getting ready to start. I am going to go, in my last video, I talked about starting a Facebook page for Colorado Stitchers, and I did, and we had about maybe 15 people have joined, and we are all about, I think 7 of us are meeting up at a local needle workshop on Sunday. So I'm really excited about that, and since I've never been to one before, I was, just kind of asking the group, what should I bring? So I'm bringing a variety of projects. I'll probably bring my fox because it's kind of a no-brainer, and I can talk and stitch while doing that. I'm going to bring a Mill Hill kit just because it's small, and I don't know if I'm going to have a lot of room, so I thought, well, maybe I'll bring a Mill Hill kit. And I'm going to bring a new project that is free. I saw somebody post this. This is called, I can't show you because it's just the chart, and I know even though it's free, I don't think it's okay to show it, but it's called My Soul is Fed with Needle and Thread, and it's by Lynn B, and it's cute, and I'll just show you really quick, kind of the gist of it. Okay, yeah, it's flowers, but the flowers are actually a spool of thread and a button and a pin cushion. So I can kind of just show you here. It's just really cute. So I'll link below where that pattern is, but I have that kitted up because it's got these great colors. Wow, can you see those colors there? So small little project, and I had a little bit of spare fabric left over there, and I'm going to bring that to work on, just because it's easy. I just don't know. I don't know how much talking I'm going to do, how much stitching I'm going to do, or how much shopping I'm going to do, because there is going to be some shopping involved. Because my plans, I'm going to stitch up a couple of magazines. So Davina, hi Davina from, I really wish you would, can you do me a favor and say your channel name in your next video? I know it's spelled like Mummula. I don't know if it's Mummula, but if you could just say your channel name in your next video, I would appreciate it. So anyway, she showed this this magazine, and when she was flipping through it, did she show that one? No. She didn't show that one. She showed this one. And I fell in love with that peacock on the front. I am not much of a, I love peacocks, but every single peacock pattern I've seen so far hasn't been one that I've just been wanting to stitch. Not like I have to stitch that. But when I saw this, I loved it. I just love, it's simple enough, yet pretty enough, and it's got just enough sparkle. It's just got a few beads and a little bit of acrylic in there, and it just doesn't look too hard to stitch. But I had to get it. I had to get the magazine. If you haven't seen, she did a flip through, so I won't do a flip through of it. But oh my gosh, when she showed this, because you know my little story about butterflies, but look at that swallowtail butterfly on the little cone flower there, and all of these. So if any of you remember the Sal that I did way back, it was the Blackwork Hummingbird. Yeah, I think that became a give up. I hate to say that, but I think it did. But when I saw this, it's like, this is smaller, and I can do this. I just don't know what I think about Blackwork. I didn't have a really good experience with that little bit of Blackwork I did with that, but these are cute. These are just little cards, and just they're small enough that, you know, they won't take a lot of time, but I love that butterfly, so I definitely want to stitch that. There were more in this magazine that I liked too, but yes, that peacock though, I fell in love with it, so I'm gonna get what I need. So and then I also I'm gonna show you another one I'm gonna kit up, because hi Laura at Messy Stitchuation. Everybody that I've mentioned in this video, I'm gonna put the links to their channels below in case you haven't heard about them. I mean, a lot of these, they have a lot of subscribers, so you probably have heard of them, but in case you haven't, I'm going to put that down there. But she showed a flip through of this magazine, and when she showed this owl project that she's going to stitch, I fell in love with it. I had to go buy the magazine for that too. So this is the owl. It's called Beaded Owl, And it's got beads and Kreinik, and it's not very big, and I think it's beautiful, and I fell in love with it. And so I messaged her on Instagram and said, I'll stitch along with you. When are you going to start? And she said she's going to do it for the magazine sale, I think it is, in Stitch Mania. I don't know if I can't remember if that's what she said. I don't get on Stitch Mania much these days, so I don't really know if that's it. But I love this. So her and I are going to stitch that together, and if anybody else would like to join along, you're always invited. We'll be posting our progress on Instagram, or I'll just be showing it here. But I'm going to need some Kreinik for that too, and some beads, and so I'm making a list because I'll be at my local needlework shop on Sunday. So I'm going to buy all that stuff, and thankfully Danielle at Stitcherista, hi Danielle, reminded us that Kreinik is the devil, and I am so glad she reminded me of that, because I haven't stitched with Kreinik for a while, but she showed the difference. If you haven't seen her latest video, when she shows the difference, she replaced her Kreinik with Petite Treasure braid, and it's beautiful. And I'm so glad that I didn't buy any of that Kreinik yet, because I am going to, all the Kreinik colors that I needed, I'm going to get Petite Treasure braid instead. So thank you, Danielle, for reminding me before I spent money on that. Then I bought this, even though I didn't really, I think, like others have said, or that I've heard, you know, I wasn't overly impressed with this, and I wasn't going to buy it. Stitcherista, Danielle again, she did a flip through of it. And I was kind of like with her, I'm like, yeah, I don't like that one. I don't like that one either. I don't like that one either. And there were very few in the magazine when she showed it that I liked. And then Collbn, I'll link her below. I don't know what your first name is. She did like almost the same day, she did a flip through too. And then when I saw it again, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, there are a couple of cute ones, you know, but I just not sure. Then I went to my grocery store, and there they had a whole stack of them lined up, all brand new. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to flip through it really quick, because I'm torn, because I've bought every issue of this. So I have all the back issues, and I thought, gosh, I'd hate to not have this issue, because you know what will happen is somebody will stitch something from it, and I'll love it, because things always look cuter when they're stitched up, and then I won't be able to get it or something. So I grabbed it while I was at the grocery store. And admittedly, looking through it, you know, looking through it in person, the things looked even better. They just looked a little bit better than they did online. So I was still, yeah, is there anything in this that I'll actually stitch, that I'll actually just say, hey, I need to stitch that? Probably not. I agree pretty much exactly with what the Schoolhouse Stitcher, I can't remember what your name is. You're new. She's new. If you haven't checked her out yet, I'm going to link below. Love her. Love her videos. But I pretty much agreed with her that there's one set of ornaments, this page right here, that were cute, that I could actually see stitching any of those. And also the primitive one on the page right before that. Like I said, I'm not going to flip through these, because I'm sure you all watched Danielle or Collbn's flip through. But there was another, this one is kind of neat, you know, in a way. I don't know. It's a lot of the same color there. I'm just not sure. There's just so many cute Halloween stuff from past issues that I want, that I haven't even stitched yet. I can't find it. Where is it at? Oh, there it is. This one right here. Which I can kind of see stitching that too. So, you know, I went ahead and got the magazine just for those. And to have it, because it's kind of a collector's item, you know, you kind of have to have it. Okay, last but not least, okay, no, not last but not least. Really quick, I want to show you, I really want to keep this 30 minutes, so I'm going to go through this quick, but I did tell you last time that I got some haul. This one, oops, upside down. I bought that the same time I bought the fox, because those eyes, oh, gorgeous. Don't know when I'll stitch that. And this, I'm just going to kind of show these. I had told you that I kind of went crazy for my birthday and ordered a bunch of Mill Hill kits. So I think I did show these last time, didn't I? Or maybe I hadn't gotten them all. These are all going to be at fall and Halloween. I think I did show these. Oops, had my fingers over it. That. And yeah, I think I had a little small ornament too. But then I was in Joann's and I got one of these because Stitching Joann had showed this on one of her videos, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to look into that. And then I forgot about it, and then I saw this. If you've seen my past videos, you know that I love doing Zentangling, and when I saw this, it looks just like a Zentangle, and they're just coloring it in with embroidery. So I'm just really intrigued by embroidery, but I'm scared to try it because I have tried it in the past, and it's kind of hard to do, but you know, it's printed cloth, and you just fill it in, you color it in with just different embroidery stitches, and it's kind of really freeform, and you're supposed to just have fun with it. So I'll let you know if I ever try that, but I'm intimidated by it because I just am. I don't know why, but I'd like to give that a try. Now, last but not least, I was sprinkled with some stitchy kindness. I was sprinkled with stitchy kindness. Every time somebody says that, I imagine that they have a wand and they're like sprinkling fairy dust. Yeah, I'm kind of weird that way, but anyway, the lovely Emily, hi Emily, from Eclectic Possessions, we all probably saw her go through her bin of charts that she got that Jimmy Flosstube got for her, or picked up at a thrift store, I think it was. And she had contacted me and said that she had some bird patterns that she thought I would be interested in, and she, you know, was kind enough to let me pick some of the ones that I wanted, and I am so excited to show you that there was a crossed wing collection in there, which I love. It's birdhouses, and another crossed wing collection, feathered gems. So we got some hummingbirds there. They're just absolutely gorgeous. And I gotta be careful with that one because it's got some patterns falling out. There's this one, Feathers and Flowers, which is a goldfinch and a hummingbird. And this one here, which has a nice little sentiment on it, and a little birdhouse with birds. Very cute, but what I was most excited about was this one called Four Seasons by Marjolaine Baston. And now you'll recognize this little motif right here as looking almost exactly like the one that I just stitched, and that's okay because I mean it might be a little daunting stitching it again. So see, it kind of looks almost like that, if you could see. Sorry about the glare, but it's just a little bit different, but kind of the same. But I saw this because I just love everything by Marjolaine Baston, and I'm like, oh, I need to stitch that. Well, Schoolhouse Stitcher, who I mentioned previously, has stitched this, and when I saw how it looks all stitched up, I am so excited to start this. I just love it, and I have somebody else that wants it after me, so knowing that I have somebody waiting on me, it's already going to take long. I mean, she said it took her years to do, but yeah. Anyway, it's gorgeous. I can't wait to start that. Thank you so much, Emily. I love it all. I love it, love it, love it. And I really appreciate you taking the time to send it to me. And yeah, so I'm going to have to sprinkle some stitchy kindness myself to some people and spread the love. So I think that is all I have to say today. And I'm at 29 and a half minutes right now. By the time I say goodbye, I'll be at 30 minutes, so I can go and get some stitching done while my kids are at their grandma's house. My mom, this time they're at their other grandma's house. They're playing poker. They're having a poker day. Yes. I have an older brother and a younger brother. I'm the middle child, middle daughter, and back before we all had kids, my mom didn't think she was ever going to have any grandkids because I was 35 and my older brother, he's 18 months older than me, and my younger brother is 4 years younger than me. But anyway, we were all married and we all had careers, and it didn't seem like any of us were ever going to have any kids, and we were all getting older. And so I started the ball rolling. I got pregnant when I was 35, and 6 weeks later, my younger brother and his wife got pregnant, and 6 weeks after that, my older brother got pregnant. So boom, boom, boom. We all had boys, and they're all 6 weeks apart. Fast forwarded a couple years, and we all got pregnant again 6 months apart this time. I got pregnant, so then I was 37. I got pregnant, then 6 months later, my younger brother got pregnant, and then 6 months after that, my older brother got pregnant, and boom, 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 we all had boys again. So all of a sudden, my mom had 6 grandsons. And so the first 3 are all going to be turning 15 this year, and the second 3 are all going to be turning 13. Riley just turned 13. He's the first, and then Jackson will be turning 13, and then Preston. So anyway, so 13-year-olds, 15-year-olds, they're all over at Grandma's, and she's hosting a poker day for them. So I'm going to stitch as soon as I'm done here. And that's it, guys. I hope everybody is having a wonderful summer. I'm having a good summer. We decided not to go on a family vacation this year, which is the reason why I'm having lots of stitching time. We've just decided to stay home, do some things around the house, and my husband and the boys are doing all things RC, so if it's remote controlled or if it explodes or blows up, they're doing it this year. So they're, knee deep in their hobbies. RC cars, RC planes, RC helicopters, drones, quadcopters, Estes rockets.